Have you ever walked into a room and felt like you didn't belong? Like every eye was judging you. Every whisper was about you? It's a feeling that gnaws at your confidence, a silent weight that makes every step heavier. For Kiana Amanda, an 18-year-old black girl with a quiet determination and a spirit as strong as steel, that feeling hit her the moment she stepped onto the gleaming mats of the elite Jiu-Jitsu academy. The air, thick with the scent of disinfectant and sweat, felt heavy with unspoken judgment. Kiana, tall and lean, with braided hair pulled back tightly, stood out in a sea of predominantly white, male faces. She was there to learn, to challenge herself, but the reception was a cold, silent stare. Whispers followed her like shadows about her size, her race, her perceived lack of experience. What's she doing here? Does she even know what jiu-jitsu is? Kiana felt every word, every dismissive glance, 100 tiny pinpricks on her skin. It was supposed to be a place of discipline and growth, but for Kiana, it immediately became a battleground of prejudice. The mats were supposed to be a place of challenge, not judgment. But for Kiana, every roll, every move was under a microscope of bias. From day one, the subtle jabs began. During warm-ups, instructors would often forget her name, calling her girl or newbie. When it came to pairing up, she was often left till last or assigned to partners significantly smaller and less experienced than herself, despite her obvious athleticism. Just go easy on them, all right? A coach would say, with a wink that clearly implied she was the one who needed to be handled with kid gloves. Kiana, a quick study, picked up techniques rapidly. She absorbed every instruction, her mind like a sponge, but her efforts were consistently devalued. During drills, if she executed a move perfectly, it was met with a surprise grunt or a dismissive, lucky shot. If she struggled even slightly, which everyone does when learning a new art, the smirks and eye rolls were immediate. She overheard conversations in the locker room, disguised as casual banter, but laced with racial stereotypes about her natural strength over actual skill. One afternoon, during a sparring session, a male student, much heavier than her, deliberately used excessive force, grinning when he heard her grunt from the impact. When Kiana tried to reciprocate with a well-executed sweep, he laughed. "Whoa there, Amazon. Calm down, it's just practice." The incident left her fuming, not just at the physical discomfort, but the blatant disrespect. The emotional labor Kiana expended just to exist in that space was exhausting. She had to constantly police her reactions, forcing a serene expression even when her blood boiled. Every single day, she walked a tightrope, trying to prove her worth without appearing too aggressive, too strong, too black. The unfairness of it all was a constant ache. Here she was, dedicating herself to a martial art, only to be constantly reminded that her presence was an anomaly, an inconvenience. The mental toll was immense, but something deep inside Kiana refused to break. She had faced adversity before. This was just another form, wrapped in a GI. She carried the weight of their low expectations, but she also carried a secret weapon, her unwavering will. What are some subtle ways you've seen prejudice play out? Let's discuss in the comments below. Yet, true strength isn't just about enduring the storm. It's about finding the power within to conquer it. Kiana knew her time would come. They saw a target, an easy mark. They had no idea they were about to witness a master in the making. The academy was hosting an inter-club sparring day, a chance for students to test their skills against peers from other dojos. Kiana, despite her consistent attendance and clear progress, was once again relegated to the sidelines, watching as others were called up to demonstrate their techniques. She felt the familiar sting of being overlooked, a simmering frustration building within her. Then, a sudden turn of events. One of the top black belts from a rival academy, a burly, confident man named Mark, known for his aggressive style and intimidating presence, was looking for a last-minute partner. His scheduled opponent had fallen ill. The head instructor, clearly flustered, scanned the room. His eyes landed on Kiana, almost as an afterthought. "Kiana, you're up. Go with Mark." There was a collective gasp, then a ripple of suppressed laughter. A girl, a new student, against Mark? It was a joke. Mark himself smirked, a patronizing look on his face. Sure, professor. Let's give the kid a try. Just don't cry when it's over. Kiana felt every eye on her, every whisper about the mismatch. A part of her wanted to refuse, to walk away and escape the humiliation. But another, deeper part, a quiet fire that had been stoked by weeks of disrespect, flared to life. This was her moment. She walked to the center of the mat, her movements fluid and purposeful, a calm entering her gaze that hadn't been there before. Mark, towering over her, postured, puffing out his chest. He saw an easy win, a chance to show off. He underestimated her, not just her skill, but her spirit. The referee blew the whistle. Mark lunged, predictably, with a powerful takedown attempt. But Kiana was a blur of motion. She didn't just block, she redirected his energy. Her movements were precise, efficient, almost impossibly fast. She slipped under his arm, twisted, and in one seamless motion had him off balance. Before Mark could even register what was happening, Kiana had executed a perfect double leg takedown. The thud of his body hitting the mat echoed through the stunned silence. She didn't hesitate. Her transition to side control was immediate, followed by a swift, decisive move for an armbar. Mark struggled, his face contorting in surprise and then panic. But Kiana's grip was like iron, her technique flawless. The referee's hand chopped down. Tap, tap, tap. 14 seconds. The silence in the room was absolute, deafening. Then a slow, stunned applause began, building quickly into a roar. What's one moment you surprised everyone with your hidden talent? Share your story. In just 14 seconds, the silence spoke louder than any taunt, and the mat became a stage for undeniable truth. The applause was deafening, the silence even more so. In that instant, Kiana didn't just win a match, she shattered expectations. Mark, still sprawled on the mat, looked up at her, his expression a mixture of shock and reluctant admiration. He slowly rose, extended his hand, and for the first time, looked her in the eye. Good fight, he mumbled, a genuine note of respect in his voice. Kiana simply nodded, a small, knowing smile playing on her lips. The atmosphere in the academy had shifted fundamentally. The whispers were gone, replaced by murmurs of awe and disbelief. Students who had openly scoffed at her now approached with hesitant questions, asking about her technique. Even the instructors, initially dumbfounded, began to see Kiana through a new lens. No longer was she the girl or the newbie. She was Kiana Amanda, the one who submitted a black belt in 14 seconds. The change wasn't immediate for everyone, but it was undeniable. The subtle microaggressions lessened. She was no longer left out of pairings. In fact, experienced students now sought her out for sparring, eager to test their skills against hers. Her instructors started offering her more advanced drills, recognizing her potential. One day, the head instructor, the same man who had often overlooked her, pulled her aside after class. "Kiana," he said, his voice quiet, I apologize. We didn't see what was right in front of us. Your dedication, your skill, it's truly exceptional. It's an honor to have you here." The apology was unexpected, heartfelt, and brought a lump to Kiana's throat. It wasn't just about the victory on the mat. It was about the validation, the acknowledgement that she belonged. The respect she had earned was tangible, a quiet but powerful force that had finally broken through the prejudice. How do you think respect is truly earned? Let us know your thoughts. Kiana's journey on the mat was just one battle in a much larger war, a war for dignity and belonging that many still fight every single day. Kiana's victory wasn't just hers. It was a beacon of hope, a reminder that true power lies not in silencing others, but in amplifying voices and challenging perceptions. Her story is a microcosm of a much larger truth. Prejudice and discrimination are pervasive, often subtle, but deeply damaging. They strip individuals of their dignity and limit their opportunities, not because of a lack of skill or talent, but because of preconceived notions based on race, gender, or any number of superficial differences. But Kiana's triumph also shows us the incredible power of resilience, the quiet strength that blossoms when faced with adversity. It reminds us that every person holds untapped potential, often hidden beneath layers of societal expectation and bias. Her 14-second revelation wasn't just about a martial arts match. It was a demonstration of how one individual, by simply being true to themselves and refusing to be diminished, can dismantle deeply ingrained prejudices. So, what can we take from Kiana's powerful story? Firstly, the importance of empathy. Before we judge, before we assume, let's take a moment to understand. Step into someone else's shoes. Recognize that unconscious biases exist within all of us, shaped by our experiences and surroundings. Acknowledging them is the first step towards dismantling them. Secondly, let's actively work to create inclusive spaces. Whether at a classroom, a workplace, or a community club, we all have the power to foster environments where everyone feels safe, respected, and valued. This means speaking up against prejudice, however subtle, and celebrating diversity in all its forms. It means giving everyone a fair chance to prove themselves, regardless of their background. Kiana's story is a powerful reminder that every one of us has the ability to challenge preconceptions and create a more inclusive world. What small step can you take today to champion diversity and respect in your own community? Share your ideas in the comments below. And if Kiana's resilience inspired you, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next story of Everyday Heroes.